First and foremost, there will be spoilers, so if you want to avoid that, please finish the series, then come back to watch. There will, however, be no spoilers for V3. I don't plan on talking about it until it's released in September. Alright, with that out of the way, hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Okay, so it's pretty safe to say at this point that Danganronpa is one of my favorite series. So I thought making a video on it would be a great way to kick off this channel. I have a lot to talk about when it comes to Danganronpa, so while my big long analysis videos are in the works, I'll make things like this to tell you about my favorite characters and why. Now, before I start, I want to mention that these are my personal favorites. I'm not saying anybody needs to agree with me. Like I said, I'll be leaving out V3 characters, however, I do know a little bit about the game, and from what I can tell, I'll have a few new favorites once it comes out. I'll also be leaving out Junko Onishima and Nagito Kameda from this list, as they're everyone's favorites and it's kinda redundant at this point. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love them, but I see no point in putting them in here. I do, however, plan on making videos dedicated to their characters in the future. Alright, at number 5, I have Byakuya Togami. Honestly, there's not much to say about his character. He's a you get what you see kind of person. He's upfront with his intentions and doesn't pretend to be something he's not. He knows who he is and he's happy that way. I find his open insults towards everyone hilarious, and personally, I really like honest characters. He does seem to care somewhat about the others, but he definitely puts himself first. He's not the most likable character from a moral standpoint, and the writers never tried to make him a quote-unquote good guy. It's definitely part of what makes him so appealing, at least to me. I just love his cocky arrogance. It makes for great character interactions. At number 4, I have Fuyuhiko Kuzuryu. Following the not the antagonist but not a good guy trend, I have Fuyuhiko. Honestly, I'm a sucker for character development, and oh boy does he have it. At first, when I was playing the second game, I thought the way he acted was pretty funny. He was either so angry you couldn't talk to him, or he would say something like, "Why don't you make like a tree and fuck off?" But that's not the reason I put him on this list. Fuyuhiko has a huge turning point during the second trial. We learn about his and Pekko's connection, and we start to see some genuine emotions from him. The fact that he got in the middle of her execution was heartbreaking, and proved how much he cared for her. After that, his character changed. He was deeply apologetic towards the others and even opened up a little bit. He eventually hardened his outer shell again, but still never completely went back to being the jerk he was in the beginning. We understand where he's coming from and what kind of person he is by the end of the game. I also love how the others started giving him nicknames like Baby Gangsta. It just shows he was growing closer with them and how much he's grown since the beginning. Number 3 is Mikan Tsumiki. Mikan is one of those characters that I grew to love over time. At first, she seemed like a throwaway character who was only around for fan service moments, which Hiyoko points out on occasion. I found her entertaining, but she was never a character I really thought twice about. That is, of course, until her huge turning point during Ibuki's and Hyoko's trial. We watched Mikan's character completely transform from this meek and terrified little nurse to this confident, condescending, and crazy character with an obsession for her quote-unquote beloved. We don't really get a lot of details about this in the game, but when we watch the despair arc in the anime, we see how she was brainwashed by Junko. I love how they made it so different from what she originally appeared to be. Of course, that's not the real way Mikan would act if she hadn't been brainwashed, but I found it very unique. That, coupled with the fact that she's a nurse who truly wants the best for everyone, really caught me off guard. Plus, who doesn't love the random fan service moments? Next, at number 2, I have Kazuichi Soda. Now, for Kazuichi, I don't want to go into too much detail since I plan on making a separate video about him, but basically, I love how relatable he is. I feel like a lot of people in real life would act a similar way to Kazuichi in the game. Everything from the comments he makes to the confusion throughout and his wanting to help but doesn't quite know how all makes him so relatable to me. I'll go into more detail later, but that plus his character design is really clever in my opinion. He's always around to lighten a situation or genuinely react terrified or sick to finding a dead body. The exaggerated faces he makes are priceless. On a side note that has nothing to do with his character, I just have to mention how much I love the color green of his jumpsuit paired next to the pink of his hair. I don't know, it's just really aesthetically pleasing to me, and honestly, I just really love his character. And finally, number 1 on this list is Toko Fukawa / Genocider Jack? Show Jill? Doesn't matter, whatever you want to call her other personality. Toko was another one of those characters I glossed over at the beginning. When she was introduced in the first game, I found her to be kind of annoying. Part of me was sure she'd be one of the first to die. However, once they introduced her obsession with Byakuya and the other personality genocider, things got a lot more interesting with her. Her unconditional love for Togami is hilarious considering the way he treats her. Interactions where he insults her but she takes it as him caring about her are some of my favorite moments. But I didn't truly start to love Toko until Ultra Despair Girls. Here we got to know Toko a lot better. She managed to make an acquaintance out of Komaru. It was so cool to see her get to the point where she made a friend who genuinely cared about her. The way she handles having her first friend in Komaru is really funny, in the way that it seems that she's not really able to fully grasp what a friend means. The banter she has with Komaru are great, and the fantasies about Byakuya are also funny. It really shows the player just how skewed her vision is of him. Even the fact that we get to see this non-selfish side to her is the kind of character development I live for. Showing she's truly a good person made her so special to me. Once again, I plan on making a separate video about her, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to Toko when you really see what her character is like. For all these reasons and many more, I just had to put her on the top of my list. Once again, for the sake of keeping my list from being basic, I left out Junko, Nagito, and Chiaki. Otherwise, I would only have 2 other slots to fill. So don't get me wrong, they do fit in there somewhere. I just wanted to look beyond everyone's favorites. Okay, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or want me to do some more of these. And let me know what your top 5 characters are. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!